Hello, welcome to this YouTube class where we're gonna work on our L-sit practice. And again, I'm without microphone, so we're gonna work on our core compression. We will use our shoulder strengths. Please get prepared a couple of socks or a towel, or if you have carpet floor, plastic plate, and couple of blocks. So let's get started. Sitting on your shins or cross-legged, we're gonna start bringing the chin up and down as you inhale, looking up, and as you exhale, looking down. And then on the next one, we're gonna drop the head sideways, stretching the sides of the neck, bending through the neck. And then slowly rolling the head out, reaching with your chin first, following with your eyes, your chin, the movement, or looking straight ahead of you. As you come to center, we're gonna roll the shoulders back, gently, and then roll them forward. And maybe one by one, we're gonna draw one shoulder back, creating this infinity sign. And reverse. And on the next one, we're gonna squeeze our fingers into a fist, building tension and rolling those wrists out through that tension. And then reverse it. If you have any soreness during the class in the wrists, feel free to pause and do this little movement to rebuild the tension. For the next one, we're gonna extend our arms and quickly squeeze our fingertips into a fist as fast as possible. We want super straight elbows and protected shoulders. Now arms go sideways, same thing. Fingers go super fast. And then arms go above the head. Think of bringing the shoulder blades up, drop it in front of you, and shake it out. Interlace the fingers and bring the arms up as you inhale. And as you exhale, draw the ribs towards the belly button. While you think of reaching the arms up, here inhale into your rib cage, expand it sideways, hold the breath, and drop towards your right side. This is going to be static hold. Think of reaching the arms, come to center, inhale a little bit, and exhale all the way down, reaching the ribs down towards the belly button. Inhale here one more time. And as you hold your breath, bending towards the left side. Think of reaching the arms all the way towards the left. Coming to center as you inhale a little bit, exhale all the way down, drawing the ribs once again. Here we're gonna inhale and hold the breath as we move sideways, bending through the left and right. Still holding the breath this whole time. If you have a need of a little bit more air, feel free to pause and take a little bit of sip of air and continue holding it. Think of reaching arms up with active shoulders. Inhale and exhale all the way down as you come to center. Now find your way in the downward facing dog. Feel free to paddle your feet out or to do any movement that is calling for you right now. But I want to encourage you to create small low back curve here and thoracic curve as you push through the palms super strongly off the mat, maybe generously bending your knees. And as you come on the ball of the feet, wave into the plank, look straight ahead of you. Exhale. Inhale, go back to downward facing dog. Rebuilding same position. Exhale. Inhale, waving into the plank, looking forward. Exhale. Inhale as you move into the downward facing dog, bending generously the knees. Maybe this time even micro bending the elbows as you protract the shoulders. Pointing the elbows sideways, we're gonna wave again into the plank with micro bent elbows and elbows looking sideways. And as you move into the downward facing dog, maintain those elbows. Exhale to draw the ribs to the belly. Inhale as you wave into the plank, round the upper back. And as you exhale, downward facing dog, pushing the shoulders away from your lower back. Inhale, plank. And now exhaling, chaturanga. Inhale, plank to downward facing dog. Exhale. Let's do this 2 more times on your own pace. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, pushing up into the plank, and as you exhale to downward facing dog. Last one. As you exhale, draw the ribs down. Inhale into the rib cage and exhale to downward facing dog. Drop the knees, finding ourselves in the puppy pose, hips above the knees, reaching with your arms all the way forward. It's okay if your hips come a little bit before your knees, reaching the chest, chin or forehead, or maybe finding our strong puppy pose here, creating small low back curve as you push through the palms and round the upper back. Think of bringing the shoulder blades to the sides of your body, as if you want to wrap your shoulder blades. Breathe here, expanding into the rib cage. And as you exhale, drawing the ribs, creating small waist. Slowly but surely coming out of the puppy pose, finding our downward facing dog one more time. And as you come onto your tippy toes, pushing the floor away, we're gonna do tiny steps into the forward fold. You actively pressing through the palms to create more space for you to come into the forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift up, and exhale, rock down. Interlacing your forearms, generously bending the knees here. Maybe moving sideways, or maybe shifting the weight from one foot to the other one. Or maybe if that serves you today, think of spreading those heels out. Notice what is happening in the sitting bones, in the pelvis. Draw a big inhale here, and as you exhale, come into the low squat, bring the hips down. Maintaining that belly thigh compression, bring your hips up into the forward fold with bent knees. And as you exhale, coming into the low squat again, an option to use a yoga block underneath your buttocks. For 8 more times, let's move between these 2 asanas. Low squat, exhale, inhale to forward fold. It's okay if your knees are super bent. With every rep, you want to go deeper in the forward fold to actively stretch the backside of your thighs. And back to low squat. Maybe this time helping yourself with arms, hugging your shins, but we want to still maintain the active core. Inhale, hips up. Exhale, hips down. And on the last one, we're gonna hold here. Think about spreading those heels out as if you want to rip the yoga mat apart with your heels, and notice how much more space you create in the pelvis. This whole time, body weight is on the forefeet. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, sit your hips back into the low squat. Here, an option to bring the palms behind your hips and come into this modified camel pose with open chest, reaching the chest up towards the ceiling. Or to come into the camel pose. Here we're gonna bring the palms on the pelvis, fingertips facing up, and use that leverage to create length as you reach the chest towards the ceiling. Maybe dropping the hands on the heels or shins or ankles. Think about squeezing the butt but not pushing the hips forward. And as you exhale, come out the way you came in. Slowly and gently finding our way in the forward fold one more time with bent knees, interlaced elbows. Once again, body weight on the forefeet. And as you exhale, bring the hips down, knees to chest, low squat. Inhale, hips up, forward fold. This time as you come into the low squat, let the butt on the yoga mat coming into this Navasana with bent or straight legs. Dropping the feet on the floor, rock into the low squat. Inhale, hips up, forward fold. And back to low squat. This whole time we're thinking about belly to thighs. And on your own, 4 more times. following the breath as you exhale to low squats to Navasana, hold. Inhale to the forward fold. An option to use a yoga block underneath your butt and balance with the sitting bones on the yoga block. We're gonna do this 4 more times. Forward fold, exhale to low squat, bump down, Navasana, hold. And as you inhale, low squat to forward fold. 3. Navasana. And 4. If you want to challenge yourself, keep a yoga block between your thighs and your chest or belly for Navasana, forward fold, and low squat. And on the last one, we're gonna hold our Navasana, any variation of Navasana, for 2 deep breaths. Inhaling deeply into the rib cage, not into the belly. And exhaling to draw the ribs down. 1 more inhale into the ribs, and as you exhale, lower the feet into the seated. Bring your palms behind your pelvis, fingertips facing sideways or forward, that is your choice. And as you press through the heels, come into this reverse plank, reaching the hips and chest all the way up. Very active legs. You want to create a low back curve and squeeze the glutes here. Roll the shoulders back as you press through the palms. And release, sit the hips down, coming into this half forward fold. Here we're gonna start lifting our legs one by one, and for that maybe you want to remove glutes from the sitting bones. And as you point the toes, we're gonna press through the palms around the upper back and point the elbows sideways. Palms can be at the level of the knees or the shin if you want to take it further, or at the middle of the hips. The most important thing is to press through the palms and feel the body weight pressing through the arms. Pointing elbow sideways, mini bend, and as you press round, inhale, lift left leg up, right leg up. And that's what we're gonna do from 6 to 8 times on each side. Take it with your own pace. Inhale, press left leg up. Release. 2. An option to bring the knee to chest. 3. 4. 5. 6. Squeeze the belly to thigh. 7. Inhale and press. 8. Heel up. And last one. Release. It's okay to feel cramps. Massage it out or maybe stretch it out. Moving on the next one. As you press, inhale, knee to chest. 2. Inhale. 3. Press through the palms, round the upper back. 4. 5. Creating that compression through the belly. 6. 7. Very active upper body. And release. Shake it out and then bring your palms behind your hips, bend your knees, fingertips facing sideways or forward. Coming into the figure of 4, where we place the left ankle on top of the right knee. And here we want to create anterior pelvic tilt. You want to bring that tailbone way behind you, creating lower back curve and thinking of pushing that left knee away from yourself. Holding here for 2 deep breaths and switching the sides. Right ankle comes on the left knee, sending the right knee away from yourself, tilting the pelvis forward, breathing into the rib cage, expanding the ribs out and sideways, and release. Coming into the seated once more again. We're gonna find our comfortable seat here. Inhale, lengthen, exhale to fold, helping yourself with arms to pull yourself in this forward fold. Maybe playing with your knees, bending once at a time. Point the toes and look for the sensations here. Inhale deeply into the rib cage. It's okay if your upper body is round. I want you to think about anterior pelvic tilt here. And as you inhale, we're gonna lift and come out of this forward fold. And pressing through the palms once again, left leg up, release. 2, inhale, 3, having a little cramp here. And on the next one, 4, round back. 5, pressing through the palms. And 6, release. Now the right side, press, lift, 1, inhale, press, 2, round back, 3, 4, inhale, 5, and last one, 6. Hold it and release. Shake it out, and we're gonna go to the figure of 4 again, bringing the palms behind yourself, bending knee, left ankle on top of the right knee, and sitting hips down as you tilt the pelvis back, creating this anterior pelvic tilt. Breathing deeply into the sore spots and change the sides. Deep inhale, and as you exhale, drawing the ribs down. One more time. As you inhale, coming out of this pose, keeping the knees bent shape, we're gonna bring the palms close to your feet, maybe at the same level over your feet. And then we're gonna press through the palms one more time, round the upper back, but this time we're gonna bring both knees to chest and lift the heels off the floor. Inhale, press and lift, and release. 3, hold a little bit at the end. 4, inhale, 5, and on the last one we're gonna hold. Press, knees to chest, hold it here, round upper back, and release. Cross your legs and find your way into the upward facing dog. We're gonna sink the hips down, press through the palms actively, and think about not squeezing your glutes so much. Think about rather creating low back curve, and as you tuck the back toes, we're gonna come into the plank and hold here. As you hold here, think about pointing the elbows sideways, maybe even mini bending the elbows. We want to bring this super strong position into the shoulders rather. If your wrists are sore, think about forearm plank, same thing, pushing the scapulas on the sides of the body, round upper body here. And we don't want to super squeeze our glutes and push the hips forward. Think about inhaling through the rib cage, bringing the ribs towards your armpit as you inhale, and as you exhale, draw the ribs down towards the belly button. We're not sucking on anything. We're breathing using our rib cage here. Very active arms, pressing strongly. And through Chaturanga, we're gonna come onto our belly here. Create length through the upper body and place the palms on the mat close to your face or maybe under the shoulders, pointing the toes. We're gonna inhale and lift both legs and torso. Exhale to release. Inhale, lift, pull yoga mat slightly towards yourself. Exhale to release. Inhale, creating low back and squeezing the glutes. Release. Inhale, super straight knees. Release. Inhale, lift up and hold here for deep breaths, using the rib cage, not your belly. And release with exhale. Tuck your back toes, push yourself up. And now we're gonna prepare our socks. Remove the yoga mat maybe, or if you have carpet floor, prepare the plastic plate to slide. Place yoga blocks under your palms as you come into the plank, and place your feet on knuckles of the toes. And as you push your shoulders forward, lift hips up slightly, bring the knees towards the chest and slide your feet, crossing them in front of you into the L seat. And as you pull your hips back, knees to chest, slide back into the plank. 1, 2, lifting hips slightly up, knees to chest, sliding the toes in front of you. Hips pulling up and back, plank. 2, 3, crossing the legs. Each time, don't forget to change the sides of the crossing. That is 3. And last one, sliding the toes. 4. And release. Rebuilding tension in our wrists, rolling our wrist as we interlace fingers in front of us, or maybe rolling the fists as we build the tension through the squeezing the fists. We're gonna do this exercise one more time. Feel free to take your own pace here. I'm gonna remove the blocks and try to challenge myself a little bit more. Feel free to do whatever is calling you right now. And again, sliding the toes in front of you and back into plank. Sliding knees to chest, and hips back. Having little technical issues with my dog here. 2, pull your shoulders forward, hips up, knees to chest, sliding forward. Pushing the floor away, rounding the upper back as I try to shift my hips back into the plank. And 3, legs forward, knees to chest, plank, and release. Squeeze your fingertips together into fist and rebuild the tension in the wrists. Roll out or TRX your palms, or interlace your fingertips and roll your wrists. Place your yoga blocks aside and come into the reverse tabletop. Wrists below the shoulders, feet below the knee, and push the hips forward. You want to create lower back curve and squeeze the legs here. Roll your shoulders back and push the floor away with your palms. Using the rib cage as we breathe here. And release. Place your hips on the floor, cross your legs. Grabbing the yoga blocks again, we're gonna do our modified L-sit here. As we come into the seated position with straight legs, pointed toes, placing the yoga blocks in the middle of our thighs or next to knees if you want to take it further. And as we round our back, press through the palms, we're gonna lift the hips up and back. Hold it and release. 2, hips back, hold. 3, an option to do so with bent knees, but you want to bring the hips back. Pull your hips back as your feet is on the floor. 5, hold and release. Roll your wrists out to let the blood flow, and on the next one we're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna hold statically. And as you lift your hips and pull them back, I want you to pay attention that your shoulders have to move forward. If you want to take it further, lift your toes off the floor too. And bringing our palms in the middle of the thighs, we're gonna fold slightly, bring the shoulders forward, maybe finding deeper fold. And as you press through the palm, lifting the hips up and back, shooting the shoulders forward, holding here, looking forward, breathing into the rib cage, and release. For the next one, we're gonna remove the yoga blocks and try to do the same thing but without the blocks. An option to leave the toes, heels off the floor. First, we're gonna find our forward fold to find more depth, bigger amplitude, with round back and tilted pelvis back, finding some movement. And as you press, inhale, lift and hold. Think about pulling your hips back and up as your shoulders move forward. Look forward and release. As we breathe here, feel free to roll your wrists out to find any movement that is calling you. And for the next one, we're gonna use yoga blocks. As we place our heels on top of the blocks, we're gonna find once more our fold here with pointed toes. And as you press inhale, we're gonna come to the L-sit, pull your hips back, shoulders forward, look forward, inhale into the rib cage, round upper back. Hold here and release. Remove your yoga blocks, and congratulations, we are done with our L-sit practice. Bravo! Right now, let's come onto our feet, find our weight to the low lunge with knee on the floor. We're gonna release the front thigh tissues, the belly tissues. If you want to add shoulders into this one, interlace your fingertips behind, roll your shoulders back, reach your chest forward or maybe up. An option to find here a back bend, or as I do here, bringing the heel close to the glute and maybe helping yourself with palm. We're gonna stretch the front thighs further. The hip flexors had a massive workout today. As you inhale and exhale, finding more depth, and change sides. Coming to the plank first. The other leg goes back. And now we're doing low lunge on the other side. Go for the things you went for the first side to balance it out. Reaching the heel towards the glute, using your biceps of the thighs, or maybe helping yourself with palms. And here I'm gonna leave you with this workout. Feel free to take any Shavasana or variation of Shavasana. Thank you for taking this class today. See you in the next one.